Hey everybody, this is Munson Steed, and of course, this is CEO to CEO, where you learn what is in the mind and the vision of CEOs. Now, remember, when you're listening to CEO, this is about a profitable conversation. Do not have conversations if they're not profitable. You want to talk about a loss, it's just to move your mouth, and at the end of that conversation, be poor. Pour in information, pour in understanding, and pour in a vision of how you yourself can make you and your family have intergenerational wealth. Catch the wave, catch this communication. And I am so proud that we've got this CEO from Culture Shock Galleries giving us insight. Frenchy, my man. Tell me,
Hey,
Frenchy, what's going on over there at Culture Shock, and what should our community know about getting involved right now with NFTs?
hey, man, Mustin, thank you, thank you, and thanks, Rolling Loud for having me today. It's an honor. I really appreciate it. First of all, I'm French, so if my accent get thick sometimes, just let me know. Just hit me on the chat or something.
You know,
But
Frenchy, I'm gonna stop you right there. You with your family are rolling out. Number one, we want international. If you sit back and you don't understand como están, como talez-vous, I mean, it ain't my
hey,
fault. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
I like that.
if you're in the Congo, don't come up without having understanding what you guys
Exactly. Hey, I'm from the Congo.
I,
Exactly. Yeah, no, for
I'm
sure.
just saying, my brother, we have to have an international mindset. If sitting here talking about money, you understand dollars, you understand percentages, and you understand
Definitely.
that we are all citizens of the world. Everything to map our minds so that we don't understand the language, that we don't grow in our language and our vision. Come on, man. I'm trying to be with my brother in Australia. So
Yes,
give us
sir.
an idea right now when you think of NFTs. Obviously, you've got a series. And for those who don't know, if you think of the success that you've heard from Mike Tyson on what he's doing and actually his podcast, Frenchy, my dear brother, Fred Frenchy, is a whole G. He understands the industry, and what we're doing is bringing the new awareness to you today on CEO to CEO on what the new game is. NFTs are part of this game, and right now we want you to understand that Culture Shock Galleries has an opportunity for us, and we need to understand, Frenchy, what are NFTs for those who don't know, and then how can we really move ourselves forward in this industry with you?
Definitely. So, look, quick background. Like, my background initially is from the music industry, right? I used to work for Universal Music in LA, like, back in the early 2000. I stayed there like for 7 years, and was doing like urban promo, with people that you probably know, the Kevin Blacks, like, like the Adam Favors and all that was, that was the school of Jimmy Iovine, right? And then I moved to the international promo. So my background is really touring, organizing tour for internationally for the main top tier artists, urban artists of that label, which were Interscope, Gift, and A&M. So I created my networking like that way, right? Getting close with artists like The Game, like Busta Rhymes, or like a bunch of artists like that, right? And fast forward to this, like you mentioned, Mike. Mike is it's a dear brother of mine. Is like my brother, and I met Mike in 2009, and we became like partner in different ventures, and then I kind of take on some of this international project. And first, now we talk about like a crypto, a blockchain, and NFT. So a little bit, I would say like a little bit less than 2 years ago. Before that, I created a company called Culture Shock Studios, right? My company, Culture Shock Studio, is a content, like an IP development company. So we creating content for different type of Black creators and Black legacy artists. Intellectual property that we develop, like the intellectual property. So it ranged from podcasting. You mentioned like hotboxing, the podcasting, TV series, docu series. We're working like on something very special with my brother Carl Kanai as well. Teddy Riley and all that. So it's not just name dropping. It's just to tell you like the type of people that we have we surrounded ourselves with. So and then logically, when the pandemic hit, one of my business, which were touring, kind of stopped. So I stayed here in Australia, and then I kind of like had the time now to kind of sit down and dive into this new thing. That was like, new, not new, but we kind of experienced like a boom, like a huge, like frenzy around like the NFT, crypto, and blockchain. So I had the time to kind of dive into it, study that ecosystem, like the right way. And I wanted to enter that space, kind of like, thinking outside the box, right? Because there's like a lot of players like on NFT and blockchain right now, like, very valuable players. But what I know is like the hip hop culture, like, I know that culture well. I know like, what that culture needs, and I wanted to create something really, I would say, for us and for the culture, right? And I've seen that like there was a lack, like, in this, like, ecosystem. So I kind of identified the problems, and few problems. The first of all was like, the Black creators, right? They experience like a large difference of in their level of access of resources, right? So the network, the capital, like, and they have this lack of resources to create and monetize their IP, their Black IP, right? And so that was the first problem to identify. And then like also historically, like, what we've been doing is that we've been misled into like, accepting upfront fees instead of like ownership, right? This is another big problem in the community. So problem number two. And then the last problem that I can see is that the lack of awareness that like, those Black creators can have like in new and emerging like, technology. So when I kind of like, put in the mix and all that, like I decided to create like, Culture Shock Gallery, which is basically like, I would say ecosystem that kind of like connects like, the culture, with like the blockchain, the crypto, but in a way where we're speaking directly to them, like meaning we're not going to want to confuse them with like all those like people in the culture, like probably better than me. We have short attention span, like the attention span is very short. We don't want, if the people in the culture don't understand something, it's totally whack, like they don't want to touch it, they don't like, So I wanted to kind of to talk directly to them, and then with like, a language that they understand, ecosystem they understand, and then that's why I created that company. Basically, sitting down with all those artists that I have, like it was kind of not a challenge, but it was interesting to kind of sit down with the low-hanging fruit artists that I had, like, to kind of bring them into that new space, because some of them, as I say, were not aware like of what the blockchain was, the NFT, even the all this crypto element that we experiences right now. So and again, myself, I'm not an expert, like, and I'm not an expert, but I managed to identify those type of problems, and then I speak to them, to that community in a way that they understand. So basically what we're doing, when we're launching, and how much money we're gonna make. Like, that's that easy. And so yeah, Culture Shock Gallery is an interesting platform that I created, where like I signed before I even created a platform, I signed about 80 to 90 now amazing talent, visual talent. 75% of them are Black. And when I say Black, it's Black from the diaspora, African American, but also from like South America, Africa, like, Europe. And I give them the opportunity to create for top tier celebrity. Some artists that might not be known and might not have like, the big platform to be out there. I give through Culture Shock Gallery, I give them the opportunity to collaborate with like the people like, the Game and the Gucci Man, and like the artists that like basically are at the top tier celebrities. So I created that agency type of ecosystem. And yeah, now like the next step was to kind of step into like the culture, and then sign and introduce that space to those top tier celebrity. And that's what I've been doing successfully, and I'm very grateful for most of those people, like you, those top tier celebrities, to kind of give me their their trust, like with a culture show gathering.
So help those individuals when you think about the importance of catching this wave, like why we don't want to be there, why, even council talking about why we don't want our community to, when you say solve a problem, you saw a problem. So now you're solving this problem for them. How are you with this current launch? Share with us how that's really been working through getting Pun, his family, and making
Yeah,
this a real benefit.
yeah, no, I mean, as I say, through this company that I built, one of our leading projects is called the Culture Cards. So again, everything for the culture, right? So I created like this amazing game. It's the first mainstream fantasy, hip hop fantasy game powered by NFT collectible cards, right? So it's we the way we want to approach this is that most of the time people only talk about the artist, but I want to actually celebrate the whole culture. And when I say the whole culture, it's people like you, like, even architects like behind the scene that help shape that culture, and it can be DJ, producers, radio personality, editor-in-chief of magazines, like, all the people that touch and then like, be meaningful for that culture. So we're creating those cards, and there's different type of tiers of cards, and then we can go over that like a little bit later. But Big Pun was first of all, I'm a hip hop head, so Big Pun is like very high on my top, like of my list. And the way we actually were planning the launch of our concept, fortunately, it happened to be like around Pun birthday. So we contacted Pun Estate, like the wonderful Liza, like and then we start talking with them. And again, I want to give them a shout out because they, without even, I mean, they've probably been, and I know they've been approached like by a lot of different companies and a lot of different entities who kind of like try to work with them, but they give us like their trust like pretty easily. And that was a great, I mean, I was very grateful for that because our platform wasn't even launched yet. And they're going to be the first one, like, they're going to be the first cards like to, our platform is launched, but the concept, the culture cards wasn't launched yet. And being the first, it's always like a hit or miss, like, basically. But we discussed about it, and they felt comfortable because again, when I talk to those people, I'm very present myself as very like I'm authentic, and I want to make sure that they understand. Anybody who act like a crypto like guru or who knows everything about crypto NFT right now is misleading you, because this ecosystem keeps changing. You cannot know everything about this ecosystem right now. Like it keeps changing. We're gonna be on Ethereum 2.0 right now. We don't even know how like what's gonna happen. You got like different blockchain. You got blockchain like Cardano right now who implemented that smart contract and want to compete with Ethereum and all that. So there's different things that are happening, and people who actually try to say that like they know everything about this ecosystem. Well, there's a problem out there. So I'll be very like truthful with them. But what she realized is that I know the culture, and the way I approach the marketing is that I target like not only the crypto industry, but heavily also the hip hop industry, and I want to bring them into this crypto culture that is very important now, because it's giving us like a new power, right? As far as like controlling a Black IP, like intellectual property.
So when you think about Black IP, you think about crypto, you think about being able to shop and buy using crypto. Why is this important for the economy and for us to actually grow our IP revenue stream in perpetuity for our wealth?
I mean, as I say, like, historically, like, Black creators, like, they've been misled, like, into, like, getting, like, money, upfront fees and all that, instead of owning their own, like, intellectual property. And now crypto and the blockchain, right, especially NFT, is changing all that. We have the potential now, like, to become like the next mainstream, like, creators, like, and really, like, controlling the movement. And also, like, as far as ownership and monetization of our own IP, it's very important, because now, like, through crypto, we're making our own money. We have, like, a system of, like, royalty that we're controlling. Like, we can make money in perpetuity, like, so, which is, like, for example, if we talk about the music business, for example, that's something that it's unheard of, like, and that's probably also why some of the people in the hip hop community being very skeptical, because they've been like, fooled a lot, like, in the industry, by signing dumb contracts and things like that. But now with crypto, you are able to kind of control and take those things in your own hand.
So for the launch, how can people get involved? Like, for people who really want to go ahead and get involved, this launch is important. It's important for the culture. It's important for Big Pun and Lisa to be a part of the first to give hip hop culture a coin and an opportunity to invest in something. How can they get involved?
So they can right now, like, we're launching November 10th. There's, like, a heavy promo that's been done in different type of outlets, like, as I say, in the crypto world, and also in a hip hop and entertainment industry. The way you can be involved is by going on the website, which is like www.theculturecards.io. You go there, you just go and join the waiting list, like, for those drops. There's four different type of cards. We have, like, the silver cards, the 500 silver cards, the 50 gold cards, 5 black cards, and 1 unique diamond cards, right? So all those cards are basically, like, in the blockchain, or you go purchase it, like, through your website. And we're doing collaboration with OpenSea. And yeah, that's, if you want those cards, you go and then register and then join the waiting list, and you'll be notified. So I have a great feeling about it. Like, we already have, like, a large amount of people that, like, have subscribed, and then who wants that. I mean, it's a very new way to approach like, crypto, and then to kind of bring the community into that new ecosystem. So I see the excitement. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah.
But the other thing is, we really hadn't had an opportunity to get in early on the floor of something that was growing, and the transparency that crypto offers. So, if there's only 5, you're one of 5. I think this opportunity allows us to grow our understanding of marketplace, because this is a new marketplace, a digital marketplace, for owning a part of, something you celebrate, somebody you love. So now you can see it, you can trade in it, you can watch the value grow. You, as an entrepreneur and obviously a CEO, when you sit down and see blockchain and crypto 3 years from now, where do you anticipate that if you had 1,000 hip hop cards trading, we're talking new billion-dollar companies?
Oh, of course. I mean, look, this is my roadmap is very specific, and then when I entered that space, I thought that, just like you just say, I thought like 10, 15, 20 years from now, right? Because I always, and especially for like in crypto, I'm not here just for a quick money grab. There's a lot of people who does that, like who do like, and that's work for them, right? But my way to approach that is to kind of really give back and bring something substantial like to the culture like in the table. So one of the things that and that's probably that's not I would say an exclusive, but I'm building this thing called Culture Coin. And Culture Coin is a coin that basically will unlock the best of the culture. And what we do is that coin is probably the coin that will that could start building what we can call like the first hip hop union, right? Because what I do with that is that I dedicated like a community wallet where every fraction of that coin, I mean, a fraction of that coin going to be dedicated to help the community, the hip hop community, especially in fields such as legal fees, like, you know, healthcare, medical care, housing, education. So we already have like right now, like something around like 350 or almost $400,000 that we put already in place for this hip hop union, because there's a lot of people who've been talking about it, and that's not new. That's not something that I'm creating. I'm not creating that narrative, but I'm trying to put like that like, you know, this little push to make sure that like we do something. I don't really like to talk years and years about something, and I want to, you know, put like, you know, my foot in and then basically activate things. So this Culture Coin is launching the pre-sale, like the family friends pre-sale is already open right now. So we're raising a lot of capital through like, you know, family and friends. But in a couple of weeks, I will disclose the actual date this week. I think we're gonna open the public sale, like, you know. So this Culture Coin is gonna be something very, very important for the culture, because there's a lot of, and again, some name I cannot disclose, but there's a lot of legends, really legends who are in a very desperate situation that reach out already, and I'm going to help, like getting their royalties back, like paying for some, like, you know, a medical assistant. They need like a knee replacement or some stuff like that. So this is what I want to do really for the culture and the pillars of, because they open the door, like for even for me to do things like that, like, you know. So that's something that I want to, you know, I kind of want to give back, right?
Right. I love that. And when you think of the movement that you see in crypto, why have you as a CEO taken the technology for like young entrepreneurs? Why adapt and study new technology?
Why, excuse me, I didn't get
Why
the.
study technology? You've applied that. You're really involved in
Oh,
this new technological world. Why is it so important as a CEO to be in this industry, a Black CEO in particular?
yeah, no, but again, because like Black creators, like being always like, you know, late, you know, be late in this type of thing, like, you know. And I wanted to make sure now we have the opportunity to jump at the same time, like, and that's why I'm very, very, I keep like, I take my time to do Zoom like this with a bunch of different artists from the culture, like young entrepreneurs, and tell them like, look, we have this opportunity through crypto and blockchain, because it's decentralized. That's something that you can do on your own and make your own money, control your IP. That's very important to understand. Everything is out there. Like, you know, like all the education is out there. You just open your YouTube and just consume, like, you know, you just make your own research and all that. You Google things, and then you make your own, like, you know, interpretation and all that. But it's very important because we've been, yeah, like there was a lack of awareness, like for Black creators and Black entrepreneurs as well in technology. We were right now, like it's just like I like to use this analogy. It's just like basically we we know, is that, let's say for example 15 years ago, right? We basically right now know that like Spotify is coming, and we actually investing in Spotify, and we meanwhile other people still going to shop buying CDs, like, you know. So that's basically what we're doing right now. Nobody could like expect that we will consume music out of the cloud, like, you know. But like, you know, so that was something like, you know. But now with this crypto thing and the NFT, I hear people say like, yeah, but the money is not real. Well, I can show you my wallet. The money is real. Like the money is real. Like, you know, we actually can help people through that. Like, you know, all the thing, the transaction that I make is through crypto. All the marketing that I'm paying, the people that I help now, like everything is done through crypto. So the money is real, and we have like access to it now, so that's very important. The technology is very important.
Right. And I think it's really important that what you said as a CEO, that now major banks, major
Of
exchanges
course.
are opening their doors to crypto. So Robinhood, you can actually begin to trade in crypto.
Visa, even Visa, like Visa, Visa is doing that. Like all the bank, like as you say, they're doing all this. So yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Fred Frenchy, literally, share that website where they can know it's friends and families. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to get in there early. But if nothing else, be a part of the culture by buying a part, and know that it is something that will improve the lives of those other cultural iconic. I want to say thanks to you, thanks to Lisa.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
For this launch. I think it's a phenomenal opportunity for the culture to be preserved and cared about. And it's about time that we start taking care of ourselves. So if you'll give us the website again.
Definitely. The website for the cards is like www.theculturecards.io. And for the culture coin to join early and be part of the waiting list is www.cultcoin.io. Cultcoin.io.
Super, super. I'm on to see. This is CEO, the CEO, and we've been hanging out with Fred Frenchy. Obviously, he is with Culture Shot Galleries. Everybody, let's get involved and be sure that your crypto knowledge increases every day. Thanks so much, Fred Frenchy.
Thank you.
Love you, man. Peace.
Thank love. Peace.